auntie. Like this is, I'm like, bro.
Them CU Aunties. Them CU Aunties.
G-Bush Tampa, CU Aunties checking in. Thank you so much for reporting back to us.
The CU Aunties in Colorado have a stronger fan base.
Shout out to CU Aunties Women's Fan Club in the building. She said,
CU Aunties, and you know they are large and in charge.
Good morning, ladies. Welcome to our first PassTPrime discussion with the CU Aunties. Glad to have you here. To get started, I want to just have you all introduce yourselves and tell me your introduction to the Sanders boys.
I'm Manira Small, and I have been following Shiloh and Shador since birth. It started with their dad. He's like 2 or 3 years older than me. And in high school, I love football since high school. So following Coach Prime's high school career, once he went into the pros, and then he had Deandra and Bucky, and then got remarried and had Shiloh and Shador and Shalomai. I've just been following them all since birth.
Hi, I'm Regina, and I got introduced to Coach when he was playing for the Falcons. I watched him back then and then followed his journey as he was raising his children, and got really, really invested. I watched them some at Jackson State, but got really, really invested when they came to Colorado. And they're just feel like they're part of the family now. The whole Colorado football team feels like the family, but really I ride hard for them because I don't like people being treated unfairly, but those are my boys. I love them to death, and I think they're going to do great things.
Hello, I'm Lady C. I have enjoyed this ride for the past 3 years. I was a Lifetime movie network woman. I was not interested in football at all, but I was looking for more motivation. And so when a couple of people were telling me about Coach Prime leaving Jackson State, going to Colorado, and I actually heard a lot of negative things. I had to do the research because I am definitely more about advocating and supporting, our coaches, our Black men, our kids, etc. And so I'm definitely excited to see everything that has transpired with Shiloh and Shador. So I'll say 3 years. I'm learning football and I'm learning the NFL as well as college sports.
Okay. Wait, we got a new guest to the building. Good morning, Ms. Verlene. Welcome to the conversation. I hope I'm saying your name right.
Yes, my name is Auntie Verlene from the East Coast of Waldorf, Maryland. And I got introduced to the Sanders family through following them from Jackson State. I followed them all the way from Jackson State. And I got connected with the principles that Coach Prime was instilling within the players. As a mom of 5, I just really connected with his values, and just really started rooting for the players and for the boys, in their life, and just following them through Bucky and Well Off Media. And it was just like I knew them, and I became, a champion of them and rooting for them, and not just football, but every area of their life.
Awesome. So all of you had a different introduction to the Sanders young men. But now they're in the NFL. So we're gonna have a real conversation about their path to the NFL, starting with that draft. So when you think about Shiloh's draft process and how that played out, what was your first emotional reaction? Were you shocked, angry, just disappointed? What was that?
Are you referring to Shador?
Shiloh.
I wasn't surprised, and I wasn't surprised not in the negative. It's just that Shiloh's position is not the position that's up front. The quarterback is the captain. He's the leader of the team. So naturally, everyone wants to know what's going on with them. I think that worked so much more better in Shiloh's favor, because even though his position is not at the forefront, it is very pivotal in terms of special teams and the defense. So this gave him an opportunity to transition into his space in the NFL a lot smoother than his brother. I think Shiloh actually won as far as the draft goes because he's a Sanders boy. He came from Jackson State and Colorado with his dad. He's older than Shador, so he had an opportunity to leave home first before joining his dad. So there were so many things that Shiloh already had in the bag versus Shador. Shador is the only Sanders child that has always only been with Prime. So this transition for him was very different. Shiloh won in terms of that, which kind of showed how he was able to be so reserved and supportive of his little brother in his moment.
I agree. I think that Shiloh was extremely supportive. I think Shiloh's winning attitude and spirit helped all of us. I know for me being new, this is my first time watching the draft. And so I really didn't know what to expect. But I knew that, I guess, in my opinion, I felt like something was wrong. And so I felt like the comedy, he just makes life, no matter what's going on, just fun. And so I thought, well, he's handling it great. So I think things are probably okay with him. So I didn't think anything negative when it came to him because again, he was so supportive of his brother. I really didn't even spend a lot of time honestly thinking about his impact because he seemed like he was handling it well.
I was a little bit surprised that he did not get drafted. I wasn't expecting him to go high. I was expecting him to maybe be a 5th or 6th round pick. But after his younger brother did not go within the first 2 or 3 rounds, I didn't think he was going to get picked. But then also, Charlo is a very resilient type of individual. He's very lighthearted. He seems to see the silver lining behind all dark clouds, even though, as he said, he's about to crash out, but he understands the game. And I think by him not being with coach all his football career, when he went to South Carolina, he was able to see life without his dad actually being there to kind of, for lack of better terminology, cushion the blow. So Charlo knew what was to come. And when he said, if you're not getting drafted, well, imagine how they're going to treat me. And he wasn't saying that in a negative way. He was putting things into perspective. And I think he has always had the knack to put life into perspective because he has seen a few more different things by the way he's had to live his life. So I wasn't surprised as in, oh my God, how horrible. I was a little bit disappointed, but I knew with him having the opportunity, all he needed was the opportunity, and he's beginning to capitalize on that. So I'm very, very proud of him.
I too, just in agreement that as far as what was stated about the resilience of Shiloh, just even how he handled his injury and coming back, and just the first game that he returned back, he was coming back from an injury and received all of the negative feedback because of the game, that he had returning from an injury. But the principles that have been instilled into the Sanders boys, it doesn't surprise me the way they handle things with such character and resilience. And again, that goes back to the principle that Coach Prime is making a sincere effort to embrace these boys as his sons, and so with the draft, I wish he would have gotten drafted, as I feel that he deserved, but I'm not worried because I believe that they're called to be great, and I'm just watching the journey. I'm just here along with you guys, cheering them on, just waiting and in expectation of what I feel that God is going to do in their lives.
Do you ladies think the league truly looked at his body of work, or was this more about like optics, politics, and perception?
I personally don't think they looked at either one of their bodies of work, because if you look at the track record, those boys can play ball. Let's be real. They play ball a lot better than most. I think, as they have said themselves, that having Sanders attached to their name is a blessing and a curse. And being that they are so confident, I don't call them cocky, I don't call them arrogant. I do call them confident, because if you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect for anybody else to believe in you. And these young men work. You see it on Well Off, you see it on Reach the People, you see it on Unk's show. You see them working, not only them, but all them around, all who are around them. They push each other to be better. So I think if they would have really like taken the Sanders name off, and if they would have been Bubba Joe Smith, everybody would have been clamoring for them because of their work ethic and how they play the game. Shiloh is a hard hitter. Shiloh will knock your block off. That is the reason why he is Headache Gang CEO. The boy can play. He just needs the opportunity. I've seen some of his highlights from the Buccaneers camp. That boy is serious business. Given the opportunity, he can't help but be successful. But because his last name is Sanders, everybody wants to kind of put an anchor around his legs or put some kind of damper on his ability. He has great ability. They just need to let him shine, and he will do the rest.
I don't think that. Okay, so this preceded Shiloh and Shador. There's no way anybody can tell me they've never seen the body of work. You can't watch Travis or Jimmy, Xavier, Will, BJ. You can't watch any of those players from Colorado or Jackson State and not see Shador or Shiloh. Shador is responsible for navigating the ball. Shiloh is in charge of the defense. There's no way. So there is that. This stems all the way back to Prime. They are angry and fit to be tied with the Sanders father. This went back to when Prime got drafted. They didn't like how he handled the draft, the audacity of somebody coming up out the projects, coming here with this swag, this confidence, this knowing and navigating his own path. A lot of people don't talk about that. The whole aura and persona of Prime Time was created to ensure he fulfilled a promise to his mother. He told his mother, I am going to see to it that you never work another day in your life. And he took what they gave him and turned it around for himself. The audacity of him to tell the New York Giants, oh, I don't need to read your playbook. You number 10, I'll be picked before that. The audacity for him to be drafted straight out of high school to a major league baseball team and then get drafted to a major NFL team and tell them both, I'm playing both sports and I'm playing them both simultaneously. The audacity to come out and turn around the pay scale for defensive players. No defensive player was making the kind of money that Prime Time was making until Prime Time came along. So he did all of that, left the league, came back to the league, left the league again, did commentating, then decided, okay, I'm gonna try to be a dad. He gonna sit on the sideline, watch his kids. Gotta told these people they were gonna mess around and hurt these children. And from there, he's coaching. He didn't follow the orthodox path, and he's not white. That's the other thing. He is a Black man who he has been married twice. He has had custody of his children. He has raised his children, not just paid for shoes and extracurricular activities. He has raised his children, and he did it not just with, I make sure they go to school, I make sure they eat, I make sure the lights are on. No, he taught his children the system. He taught his children the game. He taught his children to own their brands. So when they got into college, while everyone else is scrambling, they scrambling on the football field to sharpen their skills so that they can elevate to the next level. Coach Prime and the Sanders children did not follow their rules, and they are angry about it. And they couldn't punish their father, so they are punishing the sons.
I agree. Hard work and dedication is what I hear from the aunties today. These gentlemen put in not the normal hard work and dedication, because when you think about Coach Darrell working with Shador outside of normal practices, when you think about Tom Brady and others that have worked with Shador along his career. When you think about the investment in Shiloh and different trainers and people that have coached him and developed him outside of regular practices, how can you say you don't know anything about these two young men? They have invested in their careers from the beginning. You can see the passion, you again the hard work, the dedication, and they know that those results should equal what? A great opportunity at the next level. Because you have my film, you know who I am. I have been on TV, in media for the majority of my life. So, what went wrong all of a sudden when you have this film? You know who I am. All of a sudden, I drop and my brother goes undrafted. And that's the conversation that is continuing to happen in media right now. So, for those of us who really understand that there had to be something going on within the NFL for this to happen, because we saw in preseason, or we're seeing in preseason because that's now, Shador did an exceptional job. Shiloh has done an exceptional job. So, what is this conspiracy, or these changes, if you will? Because from Mel Kiper Jr., other analysts were saying that Shador was going to be in the top 3. And now all of a sudden, you have a 5th round draft picker.
That's why I love this, because like Shiloh is the silent but deadly weapon. They do not pay attention to Shiloh. And really, you should be paying attention to Shiloh, because Shiloh is prime time. He is prime time through and through. He is smiling at you. He is joking with you and knocking your block off. I don't understand how Shiloh, like it's funny to me. They are so accepting of Shiloh. Oh, Shiloh is so funny. Shiloh is so sweet. Shiloh is so nice. Shiloh will have you wrapped up like a pretzel, and they don't see him coming. And that is one of the attributes I so love about Shiloh that he has taken from his father. He knows how to control the room. He knows how to dictate how you're going to leave. He comes in a room and shakes hands and he smiles and jokes or whatever. And everyone is like, oh, that's Shiloh. He's so humble. And Shiloh is no more different than his dad and the other Sanders children. It's his delivery. It's his presentation. He understands, and he truly has learned that from his father. It's all in the razzle dazzle, baby. It's in the swag. Give the people what they want. Take from them what you want.
And I also think it's really cool how Shiloh, when he got drafted, well, I'm sorry, when he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he didn't go in there, saying, well, I'm Deion Sanders' son, this and this is going to happen. He was like, he came in there like any Joe Blow off the street. He's like, I'm going to be the snack guy. I'm going to learn from you. He's taking time. He's going early to meetings. He's staying late at practice. He is putting in the work. You cannot deny the young man is hungry, because he's out there. He's talking to them. Well, what route should I be running? What am I missing? What should I be doing this? And when he blocks somebody and he knocks them out, hey, of course he's gonna have his dad's swagger. He did something great. You don't see him coming. Everybody's just like, oh, that's just Shiloh. Like you said, keep watching and you're gonna see, yeah, that is Shiloh. Shiloh will get you before you even know it. And all of a sudden you laid out and you thinking, oh, that was Shiloh. He's got talent. He's got a lot of talent, but you don't expect it. And that's the worst thing you can do, is to expect the unexpected, and that's what you get with Shiloh.
Shiloh has another level of perseverance and strength that I have not seen in a young man in their 20s. Me being the age, I'm not going to say that I am. I wish when I was in my 20s in corporate America that I had that level of perseverance. Also, even listening to Shador, I mean, some of us thought it was awful. Some of us were mad. Some of us were ready to fight back, start a movement, whatever words that came to people's minds. But they have this level of strength, joy, perseverance that a lot of people really don't have. I mean, they have been taught no matter what happens, keep going. And I think that's one of the prevailing messages that I have enjoyed to see, and it's even helped me in my own life. Listen, things are going to happen, whether it's fair or unfair. We're not even going to spend a lot of time. We can only control what we can control. And those are the things that we're going to control, and we're going to move forward. Why? Because we know in the end we win. We know who we trust in. We know where our faith is. And we know what our roles and responsibilities are. We're built for this. And so that's one of the things I can appreciate about their father. And as a result, you see the seed. You see Shiloh and Shador persevering, whether it's the media, whether it's whoever it is. The media has decided, not all, but some of the media has decided no matter what they do, right? It's always a flip or a twist to a narrative. Shador went out there to Cleveland, from what we understand, to a lower economic community. And a lot of people told him don't go, but Shador said God told him to go. Why wasn't that all over national news? That never made it to national news. So again, there are opportunities where they're serving in the community, they're helping people. Those things don't really spill out, but other things that really don't matter have spilled out in the media. So I would love for the media to take a step back sometimes and just think about, how you're showing these young men when all the other young men their age and, are young football players, you don't give them the same criticism.
I want to stay right there. I want to stay kind of right here. What lessons do you think younger players can take from how Shiloh, specifically Shiloh, handled this situation? And I want to make sure we stay kind of in the Shiloh groove right here, and then we'll go into the Shador groove. So, what lessons do you think younger players can take from how Shiloh handled his situation?
Shiloh has a mafia mentality, not from the gangster perspective. Shiloh has a mafia mentality that you don't ever let your op know what you're thinking. He controls his behavior and his thinking. And I'm saying it that way because oftentimes we can be thinking one thing and then we're moving in the opposite direction of what we intended to do. Like Lady C said, Shiloh has amassed an incredible attribute of controlling how he thinks and how he moves. How this resonates with younger players or even younger people is that you can do a whole lot of things without people knowing that's what you're doing. Case in point, his whole delivery during the draft. I cannot imagine being the older brother standing right next to my baby brother, having to watch this. And I know it's nothing I can do. It's nothing my other brother or my sisters could do. My dad can't even do anything. And even in that moment, Shiloh is sharp enough to know, okay, well, we're just going to tell jokes. We're just going to tell jokes. We never give people more power over us than we have over ourselves. This is our moment and we will control it. And I cannot let my brother for a moment ever question why we are here. This is why we are going to be here.
I got to follow up with you right here. I'm sorry. I got to jump in. I want you two to answer too, but I want to stay right here because I feel like the goal, and we're going to dig into it. I felt like the goal with the way that it was handled was that they thought that they were going to get two birds with one stone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I felt like they thought was like, oh, we're going to watch them both crumble. We're going to get to see them both crumble. They had their popcorn out to watch two crumble. And what you saw was two raise up. You saw two raise up. How how did that make you feel as CU Aunties to see that? Because the absolute goal was we're gonna get 2 birds with 1 stone for 3 days in a row, and we're gonna make it the most entertaining thing. And so to see them be able to flip that, how did that make you all feel as aunties?
It was
I
the
was
most
extremely
cringe.
upset.
Yes. Oh my God.
I was
Yes.
extremely upset. You got to
Yes.
think about me. This is my first draft, and I've had a lot of people tell me what to expect. I literally had to change my life that Saturday. I had plans and I had to stop because everybody told me that, oh no, at least by Friday, you're going to see something. And when we didn't see it, I thought, oh my God, like what is going on? So everybody that knew the things that were going on, they were like, oh no, Sharice's not coming. She's got to see, what's going on in this draft. I was extremely upset. I was calling everybody that I knew, anything about football, like what is the expectation, what is going on, what am I missing, etc. And everybody that I knew was so shocked of what was happening in that moment. Like to your point, when your parents can't help you, your siblings can't help you, that is a crushing, right? In my opinion, that's a crushing for most people. Maybe some people don't feel that way, but for me, that would have been a crushing. So that was mine.
I think that when all that happened during the draft, I was borderline a basket case because I was so upset that they would treat these young men like that. They have done nothing to the powers that be NFL. I'm talking to you. They have done nothing to you. You tried so hard, and like the auntie said, because they don't have the complexion for the protection, you feel like you're going to be able to do them like you do them. And they're like, no, okay, that's fine. Yes, we did throw this party, but we didn't get drafted the first day. That's all well, fine, good. Come on, everybody eat cake. Okay, let's still have a party because we're still grateful. They wanted to watch them wallow in the ground, beat the ground. Oh, Lord, please let something happen, please. And they didn't do that. They were not expecting these young men to say, that's cool. It's going to be all right. To hold this young man down to the fifth round, and like Lady Sharice said, Charlo is like, I got you, brother. I'm here for you. I mean, Charlo really like put the weight of the world on his shoulders during that draft process because he totally took himself out of the picture, and they weren't expecting that. They were expecting for them to all huddle together and let's get some crying towels, and start kicking over furniture and all like that. No. It's not going to happen like that because they knew better. They knew that this was not an attack on their talent. This was an attack on their person. And they knew they could only control what they could control. They can't control these people out here being stupid. And that's exactly what they were being. They were being stupid because they let talent that could help their organization slip through their fingers because they want to prove a point. The point's going to be proven on the field. When these young men get out there and show what they can do, you're going to have a lot of people crying in their towels because they were stupid. They didn't have the sense enough, or they didn't have the bravery enough to say, we can't hold them down for how they think. Look at how many other young men that were in the draft did exactly what they said that they were going against Shiloh and Shador for doing. They weren't the only people that had big chains on. They weren't the only people that were popping their collars. They weren't the only people that were dancing and juking and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, why is there a double standard? Let's look at it for what it is. Let's look at it for the talent's sake. Now, if they were sorry, let's throw our hands up and say, no, we're not going to draft them because they can't throw a ball. We're not going to draft them because he didn't win. He won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. But he's sorry. Shiloh's been named player of the week. He had the most tackles of that first season that they were at Colorado. But he can't play. The boy, when he got his arm broken in the game, he's like, wrap it up tight. Let me get back out there. Everybody else would look for an opportunity to go sit on the bench, but they aren't built like that. They're built different, and they're built different for a reason. So other young people can see you can only control what you can control. But when you are in the driver's seat, make sure you steer that car the way you want it to go. Don't listen to the person in the passenger seat. If you're behind the wheel, you take control of what's going on. And that's what they did. And that's why they're going to be successful.
You know what, Seth? Because I am a psych nurse. So I have to tell you, when I was watching it, my first thing, based on what you just asked us, was, my God, please, 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 don't let this be another downward spiral for all of the little Black boys who are watching this. And then my concern switched to the mental capacity of Shiloh, one, because like Regina said, he was carrying the burden of the Sanders family that entire weekend. That is a lot. Our bodies will respond to the adrenaline and the fight or flight. But then once the adrenaline comes down and you begin to think about the situation, my concern was, how is this baby going to process and unpack all of this that he is holding? And then there was his brother and his dad. It was a lot. It was very hard to watch. As Black mothers and Black women, our first maternal instinct when it comes to Black men and Black boys is to defend them and protect them. And in elements and spaces where we can't do it, it absolutely destroys us. I mean, it brought a lot of us to tears and rage, because it felt again like they've done it again. No matter what we do, they've moved the goalpost again. And they did it in a way that mimicked old Jim Crow, center of the town. We're going to show y'all how to stay in your place. And that is how a lot of Black people in the Black community responded to it. They were like, this is crazy. They're doing it again. They're doing it again. And if they can do it to Coach Prime and Shiloh and Shador, we don't have anything. But in that moment, like I said, people sleep on Shiloh Sanders. Shiloh grabbed the reins and was like, not today. Not today. We're going to party all weekend. We got all this food here. Mama T and decorated. We're going to have a great time. My brother is going to have his NFL draft weekend. It didn't look like it was going. It doesn't look like what we planned for it, but this is his moment, and I'm going to see to it that he has this moment. And by third day before they got their phone calls, I wasn't so alarmed anymore. I wasn't so worried. And I could see in the social media chat rooms and stuff that instead of the kids being negative, it appeared that it turned their attention to Shiloh and Shador up times 10 in the most positive way. Kids were chanting and talking about them all weekend. So at that point, I wasn't worried anymore. But for a moment there, as a Black mama, oh yeah, I was ready to lace up the Air Maxes, and we need to go to Canton, Texas right now.
Well, we write it down. We write it down. Shiloh has always been a big personality, but also a big heart for his teammates and the game. How do we keep that part of him front and center when the headlines don't?
I think we as aunties and supporters have to bring a lot of stuff to the forefront, because we know that anything negative, they're going to throw it out there before they even fact check it to see if it's even true. When we find something that they do positive, no matter how small, like when Shiloh, when they were doing the Kentucky Fried Chicken thing, and the lady, Miss Connie, who worked there, and he's like, no, you're going to go home today, ma'am. How much is your day to go home? And she said $250. Now, everybody know nobody make $250 a day working at no KFC. But he didn't flinch. He's like, no, I want to take care of you. He has a very big heart. When the little boy came there and wanted to play catch, he stopped what he was doing after practice and he went and played catch with him. He has a big heart. All of them have a big heart, but nobody ever wants to show that side of them. They just want to show them crashing out, or they want to show them in a negative light. And if you really look at it, you have to consider the source too. Most of these people who are trying to pull out stuff on them, they got so many bones in their closet that they got to put a chair up against the door to keep it from popping out. So if you
Yes.
look at what they're trying to do, they've never, you know, yes, they make mistakes. They're human. We all make mistakes. They haven't been, I mean, you know, there are some blemishes on their record, but guess what? They own it. So we need to let people know that, yes, there might be some boards loose on the floor, but for the most part, he got hammer and nails and he's beating them boards back down and he's showing you what his true personality is. He always has he's always shown to me that he has a big heart. Even when he was little on them little shows that they used to have, he always wanted to try to do something to uplift somebody. So we as aunties need to make sure that gets to the forefront. Every time they're trying to hit them with the negative, we need to come back with 2 or 3 positives, because we're not going, not on our watch. They're not going down like that. Not on our watch. It just won't happen.
Shiloh is who he says he is.
Definitely.
I also want to add that we get to share this information. No one is paying us. No one asked us. We want to share anything positive because we see what's happening in the media. And we get to, if they're in our local states, we get to go visit them. We get to support them in any kind of way that we can. That's what an auntie is, because we recognize that these young men, all of our nephews, is what, 10, 8, 9, 10 of them, they need that local support if we're available. Also, if you think about it, I was excited to see that Mr. Buctified, I believe is his name, for Shiloh. That was so amazing, because not only does he have the aunties, but he has another gentleman that is a major, major support for him. And I don't know if everybody saw the video, but he was like, "We got Shiloh, we got Shiloh, we stole Shiloh." So he is extremely excited every time he sees Shiloh, which lets you know it's beyond Shiloh the player. As you said, his personality, he cares about the community, he cares about people. How many young people would be concerned about a KFC worker? How many adults, older adults, are really concerned about, oh, let me help this individual? No, he goes beyond what you would think that he was, because he's entitled. He came from a privileged family and his father is Deion Sanders. No, let's not do that to him, because guess what? We're not going to demean our father. We're going to appreciate our legacy of where we came from. But I feel like in the media, they want to make them feel like, you know, coming from this legacy, something is wrong with it. No, I am so glad that Shiloh is definitely proud of who he is, where he comes from, and it spills over in the team. You look at how the team just, you know, rallies around him. Like, he really has that aura. He has that persona that everybody wants to know or talk to Shiloh.
They are the most unrich, rich kids you could ever meet. Shiloh gets excited about an auntie giving him a Coke after practice the way some celebrities get excited about $2,000 bottle service. They don't rush to red carpet premieres, but they will go to a 7-on-7 kid football game. They will go hang out at the community center. Shiloh gets on his Twitch and YouTube channel all the time, talking directly to us, the aunties. Aunties, tell me where I can go eat somewhere good in Tampa. I want to know where I can go eat. And when he's talking to the people he knows supports him. So I don't really pay attention anymore. I used to, I won't lie. I don't really pay attention anymore to the haters, because as Denzel so eloquently said yesterday, people who can do, people who can't talk about the people who are doing it.
Right.
Shiloh is an amazing young man with football gone. And that is what makes him so threatening. He is an accomplished, classically trained pianist. He knows how to produce music. I mean, he is naturally funny. He has a aura and radiance with an audience with a mic and camera in front of him regardless. He knows how to switch between professional comfortability and community just like that. So his energy that radiates from him is why so much love and positivity gravitates to him. It is infectious in the most positive and beautiful way. I love Shiloh's energy. I absolutely love who he is.
Well, you
And you
answered the
also
next question before I could ask it. I'm sorry, Miss Regina, go ahead.
one other thing, if you notice that Shiloh never brags about stuff that he does, because the young man he even is still reaching back out to the players that are still in Colorado, because the young man Yaya, I just love Yaya. He is so funny. Yaya didn't have a way to get around. Shiloh gave him one of his cars. He didn't like get on screen and say, yeah, here's the keys to the car, whatever. We wouldn't have never found out about it if Darius wouldn't have said something about it. Yaya didn't say nothing. Shiloh didn't say nothing, but he saw the young man had a need. Yaya started telling people, when he was interviewed with Darius, that Shiloh, he didn't have a way really to get around, and he didn't really like living in the dorm. Shiloh was like, come on, stay with me, man. Let me help you out. So Shiloh wants to help people. He has a genuine heart for the people. And he's not gonna let you make him look foolish or try to run over him. But if he can help you, he really wants to help you. And that's not the sign of an entitled person from where I sit, because I've seen people who have far less act far more arrogant. So we have to just keep putting the positive things out about him and his brothers, Bucky included.
So my question was going to be, if Shiloh was sitting here, if you were talking directly to him right now, what would you want him to know about how to see you auntie see him in his journey?
Well, this auntie wants Shiloh to know that I love you. I think you are awesome. You need to continue being what you are right now. Don't let nobody change you. You have a good head on your shoulders. You have a good heart in your body, and you have been trained properly by your dad, your grandma, and everyone who is around you. Don't change for nobody. You know what's right. Always do what's right. Don't let the outside noise get to you, because you're going to hear a lot of voices. But listen to the inner voice and trust what you've been taught. And if you trust what you've been taught, you can't help but be successful. And this auntie in Texas loves, just loves you to death.
Shiloh, I would say you are an amazing leader. You have a great heart. You give, you share, you work hard. You are resilient. You give all of us another level of joy just watching you through your daily interactions that we see, whether you're on Twitch or just a clip from whoever. You really are an example of a great leader and a great football player. So I would say continue to be who you are. Continue that praise music too, because that was important as well. Those praise breaks y'all took on draft day. So again, you are a great young man.
I would say to Shiloh that we absolutely support and honor who you are as an individual, and we want you to continue to nurture and protect who you are. From Jackson State to Tampa, continue being that radiant light of energy that all of us, and family included, that all of us are able to tap into. Because as much as you feel like the aunties give to you, you give us so much more. We come from a different time, and we did not have the means that you guys have. And I'm not even talking about money. There is so much access to elevation now that you guys don't have to go through the struggles. But what we love most about Shiloh is you respect the process of those that came before you, that have made it possible for you to do the things that you do. And for that, we love you and we support you, and we will continue to encourage you.
All right. Now I'm gonna ask y'all to go back to draft day, first day.
My God, today.
I want you to go back. I know it's a dark space, but I need you to go back because I want your unfiltered reactions to these questions. Like, so I want you to go back to it's draft day. We in front of the TV, whatever snacks. Like, we expecting to see Shador come up with his screen. And when you saw Shador not get drafted, when you thought and saw the spin around it, how did that make you feel? And I don't want to know as a fan or just as a CU auntie, but as a woman, as a mother, as a Black person watching this unfold, I want your emotional responses to what that did for you.
Ooh, sis, you really took us. It is still
it's hard
emotionally.
because they shouldn't have done him like that.
It was hurtful.
Injustice.
It was hurtful.
There was no reason for that young man to have to go through what he went through. He didn't do anything to anybody.
No.
And for them to be as low down, not worth the gum on the bottom of my shoe, walking in dirt water, to treat that young man like that, they couldn't justify why they were doing that. Everybody's walking around with their mouth open saying, well, you know this, that, and everything that they said why they did it, there was a counteraction to why that was not true. And for you just to sit up there and do that, to hurt him, to try to break him, I was so mad. I was so mad. I just had to cut TV off because I just couldn't believe they were doing this. I'm sitting here in disbelief that they would do this to this young man for no reason. I could see if he had like done something, like he'd been arrested, he'd been cutting up at school, he'd been beating up people. He's lived a perfect, by most standards, life as a student. He wasn't sorry in school or nothing. Nope. And for you to do that, that broke, I have no kids. That broke my heart in so many pieces for that to happen to him so unfairly, and no one was held accountable for that. I'm like his dad when he was like, take me off the, take them off the cross and put me on there, because he didn't deserve that.
No.
Anybody else, if that would have happened to anybody else,
right.
Oh, it would have been like, light the torches, let's burn the building down. No, but because it happened to him, they thought it was funny. Oh, well, that's what he gets for being arrogant. But he wasn't.
He wasn't.
I can't. I'm old. I don't know if I'll ever get over that.
No.
Because no, that's not my child. No. I'm not blood related to him, but that was wrong.
We don't have to be related. It would be the same if one of you ladies right now, something happened to you. The humanity of it was cruel. It was.
So besides just the not getting drafted, I'm sorry. Besides just the not getting drafted, we also had the prank.
Oh, that now see that little boy should have been taken behind the woodshed, because that was stupid. His daddy should have been held more accountable, because how I would say you leave that number up and out on somewhere where you can get it, especially when it's a brand new phone. They got it especially for draft, and all of a sudden this young man, he walking by and he just saw Shador was the only number that was up. I'm sure they were looking at other players besides Shador, and then for them to say, okay, let's prank him, and the Sanders handled it a lot better than I would have handled. They handled it a whole lot better than I would have handled.
That was against the law. There is HIPAA and PII against the law. You took someone's personal information and used it, and you did it in a public fashion. And if it would have been reversed, not only would Shador not be playing in the league, they would be trying to sue him, his daddy, pressing charges.
Everything.
It just felt like a virtual episode of Rosewood Black Wall Street, all of Black America was tuned in, and we were cheering and we were happy, and we had to sit there and watch one of our finest. Just, I hate talking about it. You know, when people come online and they start talking, I scroll because I don't have the emotional fortitude to participate in the conversation without losing control, because there is nothing anyone can say to me that will substantiate the cruel, unprofessional, and just wrong manner in which they did Shador.
And for them to say that was just kids being kids, oh, y'all can take that and run down the street with it, because that was not kids being kids.
No.
That boy was 20-something years old, and he knew what he was doing. They thought it was funny, but if, like she said, if they would have turned it and put the shoe on the other foot, oh, we would still be hearing about something needs to be done. They got that little slap on the wrist. Nobody lost their job. Nobody got kicked out of school. And the money that they had to pay, I'm sure, was pocket change compared to what they get. It wasn't fair. But because it was done to a Black player, who they were trying to knock down some notches, oh, it's all good and fine. Well, at least we did something, but you didn't do enough. It shouldn't have never happened.
No.
It shouldn't have never happened.
No. And the idea we were in that moment with them, and there was nothing that any of us could do.
We're just all stuck.
We just sat there, and as someone with children,
yes,
I was mad when I saw Shador's response to the weekend. I was crushed when Prime said, "Take me."
Yes, Lord. Whew.
As a parent,
and think about Shador's resilience, though. Every time I thought about it, you can't help but think about the things you've gone through in your own life. It's like they did that to him, but he kept going. He dropped in the draft, but he kept going. He went to the Browns, on the 4th on the depth chart or whatever, but he keeps going. He did great in the preseason, yet he was criticized for all the different things, but he keeps going. And it's like, what else do you guys want from me? You know, it's like you put me on a cross, right? Constantly. And all I'm doing is being a normal person, taking the opportunity, and I want to win for this franchise. That's all I want. Yet I am being critiqued on any and everything that you create and make up. You really haven't found any truth to any of these false narratives, false stories. Yet I smile through and keep going. What I really want to get to the root of this. This is what concerns me. What is the real issue here?
Baby, I'm not asking no more, because I already know what the real issue is. Again, he is Black. He is educated. He is rich. He is confident, and he is comfortable in his own skin. I'm not going to ask somebody for something they don't have the right to give me. And I'm clearly not going to teach my children or any of the other young people in our community to do the same. At this point, like I said, I don't care what the haters have to say. And Shador Sanders is saving a lot of people with his grace. He truly is, because we know in our community, no, you got to pay your fare. You gonna get your stripes because of what you did. But this young man has shown us with his emotional intelligence, because TT, God is still working on hers. I can't readily say that I would have walked out of that situation and got on a plane and went to Cleveland and been able to show up to practice and do what's being asked of me to do, and not have some itty bitty crumb of bitter kryptonite on me from that. But I understand that sometimes God does do certain things, not because we necessarily did something wrong, but because we did something so right. And it is hard to wait for his time to take place because we want what we want right now. I want justice. I want him to be compensated and to be acknowledged and atoned for what they did to him. But it's not my position to do that. And one of the greatest things I've learned from Shador is things out of your control. It's nothing you can do about that. Do what you need to do and keep pushing.
And I think he is being a great example for all of us because everything that has happened to this young man since being drafted to the Browns, who we know, I don't care, you cannot convince me that they want him there. You can't, especially that coach Kevin. I don't think Kevin cares two flips in a bucket about him because he shows up to practice. He gets his reps. He's got these high percentages, but yet and still they want to, you stay back here, you stay back here, you stay back here. Not now, not now. I mean, I was so disappointed when they said he was thrown to the equipment manager because they didn't let him get any reps. Really? This young man is a star. You might not want to acknowledge it, but we know what he is. We know, because when he gets out on the field, we see what he does. But yet still, you still want to find some way to try to squash him down. But he's like that donkey that the man tried to bury in the hole. He threw dirt on him, and the donkey shook the dirt off and stepped on it. And finally, the donkey shook off enough dirt to where he walked out on flat land. Shador will rise from this. He will become a better person from this. And everybody who's sitting there trying to find a way to knock him down, they're going to be the ones knocking at his door, asking for some help. And guess what? He gonna help them. Don't come knocking at my door because I might not want to help you, but he gonna help them because that's what's in him. So I pray for him all the time. I pray for all the Colorado Buffaloes that are in the NFL because people will not acknowledge them for who they are. All they see is Prime and Prime being what he was, and they're trying to not still attack him through these players, but they don't understand that Prime has also taught them how to be resilient. And all of them are holding themselves to a higher standard than any of these people who are talking about them ever would hold themselves to. That little Tony man who won't say nothing nice about him in Cleveland, that little Mary Kay lady, she can go kick rocks with open-toe shoes on till her feet bleed because none of them are telling the truth.
No.
Call it as you see it. I can see, no, he's not going to make every throw. He's not going to make every completion, but call it like you see it. Don't try to push one up by pushing another one down. Just lay it all out on the table and let the facts speak for themselves. And if you look at the facts, then we see Shador is far and above most of those quarterbacks out there on that team. And also, they need to get a new trainer. This boy been hurt more in Cleveland than he ever was hurt in Colorado. That don't make no sense.
But the other thing is that Shador has a Mr. Miyagi mindset. And the Karate Kid, Daniel, went to Mr. Miyagi to learn how to fight and do karate. Mr. Miyagi made him wash cars and clean the side of that house. Daniel said, "You're not teaching me how to do karate," until Mr. Miyagi tried to punch him and wax on, wax off, showed him, well, yes, I am. So for us, we're like, Shador should not be throwing to trainers and water boys. But for Shador, if somebody got a set of hands and my arm is warm, I'm throwing to him. Because as long as I keep on throwing, I will be ready to play. And they thought when they put him on the field on that first game, after having limited reps, never working with the ones, that he was going to get out there and he was going to fall on his face. Psych on your mind, make your booty shine. Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. He was ready. We're the ones that, again, maternal, we're the ones that are like, that ain't fair. That baby should be out there. Da, 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 da. Shador said it don't matter. If this arm is in rotation and I am able to throw this ball and somebody can catch it, as long as I keep on practicing, I'm going to be ready. And this is where we are. As far as these injuries are concerned, I'm not going to try to assess anything. But baby boy was sacked 95 times in 2 years. And you mean to tell me he been in Cleveland for a couple of months and we are benched for obliques. Okay, y'all, I ain't gonna hold you. All right, if that's what y'all say, okay. And the fact that Shador is calm, I was like, I'm gonna just mind the business that pays me, because just maybe, you know what? Never mind. It's none of my business. It is what it is. If that baby say his obliques hurt and he can't play, then that's what it is. But 95 sacks in 2 years, and Prime had to walk on the field. Y'all remember that game? Prime had to walk on the field and tell Shador,
that's right.
You coming out. You coming out. An oblique injury, a sore arm
And
injury.
he played with a crack back. Okay, I got it.
I guess if y'all,
yeah,
I guess we're not gonna say nothing, because as soon as they announce something about Shador, I run my hind parts over the Bucky page and over the Coach Prime page. I need validation from a credible source. They not saying nothing. Oh, okay, then I don't need to be worried about nothing. It's okay. If that's what Cleveland say, we ain't gonna hold y'all.
Do y'all think the way the media frames Shador, cocky, unfocused, distraction prone, would look different if he were a white quarterback with the same resume and stats?
You mean like Arch Manning?
Yep. That part
is a good one.
That part.
Again, the bottom line is this: Shiloh is prime time. Shador is Deion Sanders.
Yes.
He is reserved. He says what he means. He means what he says. He does, and he moves to his own beat. I mean, even if you look at him amongst the other Sanders children, Shador is the second to the youngest, but Shador is really the baby of the family. Everybody takes care of Shador. He's always been shy. He's kind of coming to his own. But that's who his dad really is. We demand prime time, but Coach Prime is really Deion Sanders, and he's always said that. I'm very quiet. I'm very reserved. I don't really, Shador says what needs to be said when it needs to be said, and it's disturbing to people because they're not accustomed to that. They are accustomed to young Black men in his position. Oh, I'm glad I'm gonna be able to pull my family out the ghetto. We so grateful for all this money y'all giving us. That's not how Shador comes to you. He looks you in your face. He's not dragging his feet. His shoulders are not slumped in. He gives gratitude and honor and loyalty where it is earned, not just because you told him he has to do that. And if he has an issue with something, he addresses it. And the audacity of this 23-year-old to come and talk to this 60, 70-year-old man about what he said. But it was only an audacious moment because of what? He's Black. Because Johnny Manziel cussed, did all kinds of lewd stuff. Baker Mayfield grabbing his junk on national TV, cussing and carrying on. I mean, we could go on. Folks with their illegal infractions. Shador gets a ticket, but never mind these sexual assaults, domestic violence, drunk battery, and all these other things. The rules always change when it pertains to us. The goalpost is always moved when it comes to us. And when they can't explain something, then they make up stuff. There isn't anything to see here. There isn't anything to make up. We have a kid who did well in the classroom. He's done well playing sports. Shador has been on a football field since he was 4 years old. What do you expect? What do they expect him to be? He's been playing since he was 4 years old. He has had the benefit of being in and out of professional football locker rooms all his life. He has been mentored and coached by the best. Tom Brady, what do they want? I'm asking that rhetorically. What do you want him to do? Iron sharpens iron. If you continue to put people in front of the best people and make available to them the absolute best resources, that's what's going to happen. But that happens every day in the white community. It's an abnormality when it's us. Again, Coach Prime didn't follow the rules. The nerve of him to go get Tom Brady to mentor his son. He didn't go get, oh, I heard there's this awesome program in North Dallas. No, he got on the horn and he called the GOAT himself. And people are outraged because we're not supposed to do that. We're just supposed to make do with what we have. And no, we have this young man who has been taught to aspire to the absolute highest ranks, and he does, and he exceeds every time if something is put in front of him. So yeah, it would be very different. I mean, look at what's going on right now with Arch Manning. He hasn't even played a game, and they playing him off like he's going to be round one. We don't have any film for him.
And they said he's going to be winning the Heisman. Hello, but his grandfather's already come out and started saying what
where he's not
will and will not happen.
Yeah, what he is and what he ain't going to do.
Then everybody starts this big firestorm. Oh, he's cocky. Oh, he's this and that. But old man Manning is doing the same thing. And everybody's like, oh, he's just trying to make sure he gets in the best possible position. Y'all need to miss me with that. Y'all just need to go over there with that statement, because that don't make no sense. If Dion would be white, everybody would be singing his praises. But because he is black, because he doesn't have to depend on anybody, that he doesn't need to go begging and fetching and stepping to get anything, then you're mad. How about you get your paper up so you can do what he's doing? How about you worry about yourself and stop worrying about them? Let them live how they're living. They're not affecting you. They're trying to help you, but no, you're too busy trying to knock them down that you don't understand. You're knocking concrete from under your own foundation. You'll fall quicker than they will, because they're trying to help people. You just trying to tear people down. So miss me with that. I'm not, no, miss me with that.
They also can contest this success because of well-off media. Bucky has documented everything.
I know Bucky documented Shador saying he's gonna be hardworking ever since he was at Truth. So this ain't nothing new. This is how he's always been. So no.
I was just going to say they need a reason to justify that he's a fifth rounder. So all they're using now is he doesn't know the playbook, and I'm sick of that narrative. But that's all they continue to do. So that's why he's a fifth rounder and on fourth on the depth chart. That's all you hear.
As a CU auntie, how has following Shador's journey changed how you see the game, the program, or even your own role as a supporter?
I don't think it's changed mine so much as I now have, Seth, we don't really see them like a team. We really do see them like our nephews. Like Prime is like a big brother or a cousin. You know, it's really a family. It's really a family kind of thing. So when we talk about the nephews, and we get teased a lot about that by people who
don't get it,
who are outside of our bubble, we get teased about it like that because you don't know them people. And it's like, yes, we do. I mean, I will get up and fly to Boulder like I'm going to Memphis to see one of my blood relatives. Matter of fact, I just got back from Boulder yesterday to go do the meet the Buffs, because once you must go, you've been there. If you have an opportunity to just go to that locker room or go and talk to one of them, there is nothing more rewarding. Yesterday, I'm there, and other people who see me, they spoke to me, but to have one of the nephews walk up to you with their arms open, saying, "Hey, Auntie Manera, I'm glad you were able to make it." They know our names. They know who we are. And they constantly acknowledge how much the support means to them. So it doesn't feel like we're in a fan club watching football players. It really does feel like a bunch of aunties checking on the nephews. And we're going to go watch them play their game, girl. And we don't care what other people say. It hasn't changed the game. It has made me tune in. I hadn't watched a professional football game since Dion played or Randy Moss played. I had never really had a professional team except for when their father was playing, because all of the football players now, they sissy la candy boys who just play for endorsements and bonuses and stuff. Like, you're not really out there on the gridiron, but Shiloh gonna go out there and knock somebody out. We getting ready to see some gridiron football. Shador is definitely playing like a real quarterback, but I mean, golly, you've only been trained by Tom Brady. So what there's that. So I buy the merch. I'm decorating my house with Colorado Buffalo stuff. My wallet is in a chokehold. My wallet is in a chokehold right now because not just Shiloh and Shador, we got 7 other ones that are playing, and I gotta buy merchandise and go to their games too. And I don't think twice about it. When people say, "You can't do that," mind your manners and your business. This is family business you're talking about. And if somebody come online and get disrespectful,
oh Lord, that part.
We got time today. We
That
got
part.
plenty of time today.
Follow us on Twitter, right? On X.
You really don't want to wake that up. Say something disrespectful.
Even on Instagram.
Because I know TikTok over there. Oh yeah, I got time and I got all the smoke. Please say something about anybody. Say something about the baby buffs and the NFL buffs. Please and thank you. Say something. We ready.
As we get ready to wrap this up, same question. If you were speaking to Shador right now, if you had a chance to speak to him directly, what is it that you would say to him?
Keep being you. Don't listen to the outside noise. You are destined for greatness. There is a calling on your life, not only in football, but you are being a wonderful example, not only to little boys and girls coming up, but to some of your aunties and uncles that are way older than you. Mm-hmm. The way you handle yourself is impeccable. Most people have not gone through the things unjustly that you're being put through, but you do it with a smile on your face. You do it with respect. I don't know what you do outside the cameras, but every time I see you on the camera, every time somebody says something about you, no matter, even Charleston White has to come back and eat his words because he knows that you can only throw dirt on a person for so long and it's not going to stick. You are a good example. Keep focused. Don't listen to the outside noise. Know that this auntie in Texas, we got you. You already somebody, but you're gonna be a Hall of Famer. You're gonna be great. I wish you get traded from them Browns who don't like you, but if you gotta be there, show up and show out like we know you will, and we love you.
Shador, I'm gonna start with a thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for caring about the community, the youth. Thank you for being resilient. Thank you for being mature, as you're called, grown. Thank you for making decisions that many of us don't even know, but you endured and you won. And I am excited to be a part of your future endeavors, what I can see and how I can support you. You are a great young man. God is guiding you and leading you. You have a whole lot more supporters than you do haters. So continue to march forward. God got you, and we are here for you.
I would say to Shador that we are proud of you beyond words and measure. And in every lifetime, there comes a special person that God chooses to change the way we do things, change the way that we think, and change the way that we move. And you are him. For whatever reason you were chosen, you are shifting the culture in a positive way. You are bringing people together. You definitely are filling the gaps in our community. It feels like a Saturday afternoon at grandma's house every time you are on the screen playing football, even when we do it vicariously through our live streams, our chat groups, our posts. You have reminded us of the greatness that humanity is, not was, is. And you do it with the grace and eloquence of someone 3 times your age. We want you to know that it's okay not to be in the box. If we were supposed to be the same, God would never have made us different. You are unique and special, and we love that about you. We support that, and we will continue to encourage it. And like Auntie Regina said, we're not real fond of Cleveland. As we have continued to tell you, we are not Cleveland Brown fans. We are Shedeur Sanders fans. And as long as our nephew is there, we will be as loud and as excited as the level of disrespect you continue to throw his way, because God said, not y'all. We love you, and we are going to continue to support you, whether you on that bench or not.
Thank you, ladies, so much for this. I mean, just an insightful conversation. I enjoyed this first PassTPrime conversation. I'm gonna turn it back over to Miss K. Thank y'all so much.
Thank
Says
you.
you cannot come back on here again making us cry.
Exactly.
Because baby, you said we getting ready to get deep, and you went to that draft.
I just want to thank you guys, because this, and I wish I could have a better setup for you guys and figure this out, but I'm working with what I got. You guys have embraced a lot of what women are thinking and feeling in our community, and I just want to thank you. And I'm gonna do my best to make this good, and I hope that you guys join us again. That's why I didn't want to say what it was, because we would have had different type of people on here, but I really expected you guys to say exactly how you feel, because I watched you. And I just want to say thank you.
Apologizing. We've had this conversation. It is the quality over the quantity.
Yes. So
we don't need the pretty set. This is your Coca-Cola after practice.
Child, you need to show the real and the raw. And that's what you're doing.
We have a lot of questions. You guys don't know. I have 20 questions, and I just asked her. I didn't give her. I said, "Give me questions," and she came with townhouse questions. And because you guys answered, we couldn't even get to half of them, but maybe there'll be a part 2. I don't know. But thank you guys. I don't want to keep you so much.
Thank you guys.
And we'll be chatting again. We have a lot of other people, a lot of other controversial.
Well, whatever you need, Kay, we
let
are
us
here.
know.
Thank you.
We're here.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys. You guys be safe.
Love you guys
and
too.
The score right now, Browns are losing.
Yes.
And Gabriel threw an interception.
Yes. So catch up. I got it on too. So see you guys.
Let me
later.
go live on my stream and talk my mess.
See y'all later. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Special shout out to the CU Aunties too, because they were out there in force again, as they always are.
We love the aunties. Them CU Aunties. Them CU Aunties. There, man. I'm telling you, that stuff for real.